The theme of this week is the eternal now. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness within your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. When will I find God? Many devotees have asked this question because worldly goals require time, usually, for their fulfillment. We imagine time to be a factor on the spiritual path. And so it is, but only because we think it is. God is as much with us now as He will ever be. It is not He who needs to come to us. We need to come to Him. And that process of coming is a matter of transforming our self-perception. In the Gospel of St. John, chapter 4, Jesus Christ says, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest? Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes, and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest." There is a practical teaching in these words, apart from their statement that we have God already and have only to realize that truth. Jesus is saying, lift up your eyes and look. To hold the eyes uplifted is the best position for meditation, for the seat of superconsciousness lies at a point midway between our eyebrows, in the frontal lobe of the brain, just behind that point. This point is known also as the Christ Center. By lifting up your eyes and concentrating there, you will find it easier to enter to an ecstasy state. That is why saints in every religion have often been observed during states of deeper inner communion with their eyes uplifted, focused on the inner light, white, as Jesus said, already to harvest. The Bhagavad Gita goes further into the meditative teaching. In the 6th chapter, it states, holding the spine firm, the neck and head erect and motionless, let the yogi focus his eyes at the starting place of the nose, the point between the eyebrows. Let not his gaze roam elsewhere. In meditation, tell yourself, I have Him already. I am alive forever in the divine light. Thus, through holy scriptures, God has spoken to mankind. This is a very interesting theme today. And it's not so easy to realize, because as human beings, especially us in the West, we are so much attached to time and space. Yogananda used to say, and Swami Kirtani used to say, that this attachment, that it is this attachment that has us, it gives us the difficulty of being and living in the present moment. If we think of how our meditation was in this moment, what had we thought during the meditation? If you are fortunate and concentrated and you have already practiced a lot meditation, you probably would have been able to keep your mind concentrated in inner silence. But probably it could be that something else went through, asking yourself, what are we going to eat today? Who knows what they're preparing in the kitchen? Or the time to arrive here, I thought that I was not going to arrive, but I did. Whatever thought that is not really being in this moment, present moment. It is a challenge. But it is possible to overcome this challenge. Yogananda says that we can only arrive to God and be in unity with God and emerge in God in the present, in this instant and moment. In the past, it is already past. In the future, it is still not possible because it hasn't arrived. But in this moment now, in whatever moment of present, is then the only moment where we can be united to God. And Yogananda used to say that the most of the people live in the past or in the future. But when you are able of living really happily in the present, then you will have God. There's the cat that came into the temple today. He probably wants to be present with us. This answer, this question in the reading, when will I find God? The answer is simple. When we will be deeply happy in the present moment, then we will have God. And when I think of this, I often think of Swami Kirtananda. Some of you may not have met him, but when he was the founder of Ananda worldwide and of this community, he lived 3 years and a half with Paramahansa Yogananda, and then his whole life, after being with Yogananda, the rest of his life was dedicated to get to know God and to help others arrive to that. And what I saw in his life was that whatever thing happened, because he was a man that had many challenges, even being tradito. Even with all these challenges, he never left permitted things from outside to take him away from his inner peace. Once his secretary that was with him for many years, knowing that Swamiji in many moments would try to give away Ananda, a community with more of hundreds of people. When he wanted to give the community to the foundation of self-realization fellowship, they actually did not think he was sincere, and they renounced it because they thought that this was something that had problems and that he wanted to let it go because of that. In many other moments, he had many tests and challenges like this with his brothers in God, with people that were with him. And once the secretary asked, Swami, I don't understand why you just simply don't let go and go on with what you're doing, serving your guru. And Swamiji said, yes, I do that, but if I give my back to that, I will lose twice. Once with the treason that I lived from them, and another in a second moment when I close my heart and I close myself to them. And I don't want to do that. I want to live in every moment in God's presence and in my Guru's presence, asking, what do you want that I do? Just like St. Francis did when he spoke to Jesus. So This is something Swami could do, and he managed to do it in the most fulfilling way in his life, because he had the instruments to be able to know how to live in every moment in the presence. Swamiji was free in every instant to decide how he wanted to act. And he always wanted to forgive. He never wanted to hold or to grip to the past. And this is something that we often don't do. We mostly live a lot in the past, thinking of what did not happen, or feeling thinking of things that others have done to us, or that things that we did not manage to do, or we are living in the future, thinking of, it could be that they will forgive me, or it could be that they will ask forgiveness for what they've done, and living really in the future, and we lose the present moment in which God is. And this is important for us to know that God is present in every moment. As Swamiji says in the reading, we are the ones that must understand and feel this presence and open ourselves to this presence, to have in every moment and in every situation the right solution for our life, the answer for us and for others, being here and now.
Quanto ci teniamo a branare, avere il desiderio grande per qualcosa nel futuro, o quanto stiamo vivendo nel passato.
How much do we want something in the future, or how much are we living in the past? If we are conscious and aware of this, that we are doing this, this is really something that limits our freedom. Limits our freedom. We think that we have freedom if we can choose the wife or husband that we wish. In some countries that is not possible. People are not free to choose. If we can choose our job, or if we are free to go on a vacation. And in this case, we feel that we are free to do. But what is freedom really? Each one of us is also limited by our habits. I was talking with a friend not long ago, where we were both saying that she cannot do what she wishes to do, and I was saying I would like to change things of myself that I haven't been able to change. And many of us are in this situation, and we were saying, why, if we have this will, this great will to do this change in our life, we know that we can, and that it would be good for us. Why can't we do it? And the habit is one of the biggest limits we have, because not only in this life, but who knows in how many lives we have acted in the same way. maybe there is a habit of rage or anger, and when something doesn't work, the first thing that comes out is this anger, because it's a habit that is with us from a long time. Habits are easier to express. It's harder to stop and think and ask oneself, what do I really want in this situation? How do I want to respond? That is not a habit. This is the right action, not reaction. And when we know that there is something we really wish to do, it is important to understand that energy is needed for this transformation of a habit. We must put out an effort, energy, and this is what happens when the situation arises. We can ask ourselves, what do I want to do? Am I ready to put out the energy that is needed to change this habit? Or in an aware way, say, I can't now, I'm not ready yet in this moment, even if I know that I wish to do this. But this is a step. The first step is simply to see that there is something that we want to change. If we don't arrive to that point, then we go on for most of our life acting in the same way. And the awareness is the first very important step. The fact of wanting something different. And then we see that even if we have this awareness, we continue acting in the same way, and then but you see it and you say, okay, I have fallen again in the same thing and I want to do better. Then there is a moment where when the thing is happening, but it can be that for some moments we can't really do this change, make this change. But then there's a moment where the circumstances are in such a way that we feel that we can do this step. And we see these circumstances that normally would bring out that reaction. Then there is that moment where you can decide, okay, I do it this way or that way. And the thing that encourages is that when you live for so many years practicing practices that are transforming and changing your consciousness, that modify your level of energy, that in a subtle way are changing your heart. These steps are assured, and God and Masters say that at the end you will win. The important thing is firstly you bring out the effort to act in a different way. You put the effort out. And this way you can change your reaction. When you can't do it, if you have done something that was wrong, the important thing is that you you admit that something did not work and that you really want to do something to repair. Ask for forgiveness, help the person you did not help. Do something so you don't forget what happened, but you keep it at an aware level. And what Swami showed in his life, and many of you are doing in your life, is that you do your practices that sustain your change, your transformation. This can be your spiritual practices, energization exercises that help you elevate your energy, because when you have higher energy, it is easier for you to transform yourself. These exercises to concentrate on your spiritual eye, all of this takes you to transform the cells of your brain and your consciousness. It is important to do all of this in a regular way. This is a conscious transformation. Even the people that surround you, find the people that help you go towards your goal. Choose in all these things small steps every day, that every day help you see how many times things happen and I saw my reaction that was more harmonious, and then I can see, wow, in that situation in the past I would have been lost in my emotions, but in some way I have changed. And when you see this, this is a guarantee that you are changing. Everyone changes if one activates these steps. Now let's speak about things that can limit and block this possibility. What are the things that we do that do not help us? And the most important thing in this is the desire, wanting, not the wanting things or having desires of material things, but the desire of wanting to be able to live every instant in a more happy and free way, and free to decide the right decisions in one's life. When we have this great desire, then we can do our introspection on what today in our life we haven't done yet, because of fear, because of lack of energy, because of being unwilling. In whatever reason, we must have the great desire of doing a change, making a change in our life. And then looking at all those things that we have not forgiven in ourselves, things that we haven't thought we had or that we deserved. Things that this... I remember someone said, especially with the Kriya meditation, someone said, I hated Kriya. This is the technique that Yogananda explained, is the most advanced technique that is like a super jet to arrive to our freedom in God. And this person said, I hated Kriya, but then I understood that I was scared, afraid of what the Kriya could bring to my life, because it was something that was unknown for me. And many moments we have fear of the unknown. In this ceremony that follows, we talk about this unknown and the fact that in the unknown is where what we need resides, for what we need for our growth. If we are not where we should be at a spiritual level, then we must know that it's because we stay in the known, in the secure place. And to go to God, you need to get out of there. And you have to expand your consciousness, your capacity of immersing yourself in God. Swami used to say, talking about the limits, that it's not necessary to insist on things that we have done wrong, or our errors, or the lack of merit, of not being He says that divine grace is ours always, eternally, if just we can insist in living in this grace with the confidence that God loves us. This is the truth. And Swamiji says, God can liberate us in 1 second, instantaneously, from our illusion. We just need to be like His children with all our heart, and heighten the chalice of our devotion in perfect communion, interior communion, to receive the flow of light of God. We know this act of receiving, being able to receive. It's said in the Bible, those who receive Him will have the power to be children of God, children of the light. We must be able to be open to receive this light. In the ceremony of light, Swamiji, in this ceremony, Swamiji, during his life, guiding Ananda, tried always to help us in many ways, and one of these ways was with our ceremonies. One is the ceremony of purification that we normally do on Thursday morning after meditation. This purification ceremony is where we become aware of those things that need purification from our heart, from our mind. And this ceremony of light, the one that we are doing today, that many of you know well, I ask you to to do this ceremony today with full awareness and listening to every word, singing every chant in an aware way, in an honest way, and in every prayer, doing it with awareness of what you are doing, what we are saying. Because this ceremony, doing it every week, or some do it more often at home, this ceremony will help us if we are in the present moment, experimenting the light that is in us. And what happens when we offer this light to the flow of the infinite, that light that brings us to the self-realization. When we do this every week, every day in our meditation, we become capable of not only offering ourselves to the light, but we become able to help others and guide them to find the light in themselves, because our actions at home, in our work, even only just walking during the street, when we act with a smile, with our eyes in the light of God present in this moment, others feel and are hypnotized. Their day changes when they have even a small moment of interaction with us in this light and in this state, in this presence of God. We know, we have this spiritual light that you see here in the temple, and that maybe some of you, when you close your eyes, you see it. When you concentrate your eyes towards the point between your eyebrows. When Swami is talking about looking about the spiritual light, it's not only outside, it's inside, because in that it's there where if we are present, we see the light. And this is something that gives the experience of what you really are, and of what can take you towards the expression, the continuous expression in eternity of what you are. Looking towards that interior light helps you to arrive to an experience of ecstasy. Maybe you have seen images of saints or of children that are looking towards a vision of Divine Mother or of God, and their eyes are always looking upward because they are looking the image of the light of Divine Mother, of the Madonna, of Krishna. They're looking at this divine image in an interior way. And this is something that today, in the ceremony of light, we can try to be in present, and we can try to attain that. You know that Swami Kriyananda guided in America and here and in India the works of Yogananda through Ananda, and that at the end of his life he arrived here And he stayed here for his last days of his life in this community. It could be that you were here at the day of Easter when he read his goodbye letter to all the community of Ananda. Not only for those that were here, but worldwide Ananda participants. And he would say that he was not attracted to anything outside, that the only thing he wanted was to follow that interior light and to leave from this limited plane to go towards God, and that he wanted to take us all there. This was his desire, always. And we have Swami that wants to help us, but we have all these masters. All of them have done the same path to arrive to be one with God in the eternal now. And they all talk about this experience, even those who have done experience of pre-death. They could say, they describe an image of someone that would help them see all their life in that moment, without judgment, but just helping them to understand and saying, come back, you have to go back, because you must finish something and do better. And all these people that have had these experiences of pre-death, with that experience, they have received the message that was necessary to change their life. In this moment, with the ceremony of light, we wish to do this. It can be a help for us to go. To be in the moment is to let go all those things that we know that are blocking us. And another way is to expand what we really already are. Expand the love in our heart more and more. Expand our awareness more and more, and to continue our growth until we arrive to expand ourselves and emerge ourselves. If we in our life can ask this question, in this difficult or beautiful situation, what can I do to add to this situation, to these people that are in the situation? Joy, love, light, peace. How can I act in this way? Our freedom, our greater freedom, is the practice of our greater freedom is to take the right decisions. And if in whatever moment we see that we haven't done the best, know that every little small decision every day that you take, not from habit, but with awareness and consciousness, those little things that we really are the best we can do, all of that helps to sustain our research of the eternal now. And the fact of choosing always in a more conscious way. There is this passage in the ceremony where we say, I choose your light. In Italian it says, I want your light. I want only thee. It's this intention of wanting, choosing. We want to practice the ceremony of light today with this awareness. That in every moment, this ceremony may bring you, bring a word, an image, a thought, a vision, an experience of that light that may help you to go forward and to arrive to the closer to the self-realization of yourself, in this eternal present moment that is offered to you always. It is important what happens to us, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is what we do with what is happening. If you are here for this ceremony, there is a reason. Open yourself to this research. The important thing is what you become through what happens to you. And the more you live in that consciousness, the more free you will be. The more you choose how to respond in life, you will be more happy in every moment and in this moment where God and your highest self want to guide and bless you. Bless your life.
No.